This is the Olympus 16mm f2.8 Macro lens. It has a 1:1 full magnification shortcut dial that a lot of people find frustrating and they call it a design flaw. However, I personally think that it is a genius idea. In this video, I'm going to show you how that 1:1 magnification shortcut works and how it has helped me to get some really awesome inside macro shots. Let's do this! I've mentioned this before. I think this Olympus 60 f2.8 macro lens is one of the best macro lenses out there. It works really well with any macro four thirds camera bodies. It gives you fantastic magnification, about 200% equivalent in terms of 35mm format. That is a lot, and it renders really sharp results. I'll put the link to the video up here. I've talked about this lens, or why I love this lens. I'm not going to repeat everything that I've said. In this video, I want to address an issue that a lot of people encounter. Basically, they were using this dial, the magnification dial, where there's a 1:1 full magnification shortcut. There's a lot of confusion on how it works. A lot of people find it frustrating. I just want to clear out the confusion. But before we do that, I do want to go around this beautiful park and capture some macro shots. Today, I'm armed with this Olympus Pen EPL7 from more than 10 years ago. I think it's probably 12, 13 years ago. And of course, I'm using this 60 f2.8 macro. I'm going to use my Godox TT600 manual budget flash and an 8K diffuser. And let's go around and see what kind of shots we can get. The biggest complaint of this lens, the Olympus 60 f2.8 Macro, is why doesn't the 1:1 shortcut stay at 1:1? A lot of people, when they set the shortcut at 1:1, they expect that the camera and lens will be able to shoot at 1:1 at all times, regardless of what happens. Even if you set the dial at 1:1, it jumps away immediately. And yes, it is already at 1:1 magnification, but as you half press the shutter button, the magnification goes away. It is no longer 1:1. This has caused a lot of frustration. Well, it is not that simple, but before I can talk about why that 1:1 shortcut doesn't stick to 1:1, I need to talk about how autofocus works. I can hear people saying, "Oh, Robin, I've been doing photography for 30, 50 years. I don't need you to tell me how autofocus works. It is so basic. Everyone knows, right?" But here's the thing. If you truly understand how the autofocus works, you wouldn't question why that 1:1 shortcut doesn't stick to 1:1 at all times. Autofocus basically is the process of the camera calculating the distance between the camera and the subject. With the distance determined, the camera can use that data to move the glass elements inside the lens to make sure that the image of the subject is in focus. Now, in this case of shooting macro using this Olympus 60 f2.8 Macro lens, you're going to go as close as possible. The minimum focusing distance is 19 centimeters, which means if you go to 19 centimeters and if the lens is in focus, you've achieved 1:1 full magnification. If you can understand that, if that is true, then if you move away from 19 centimeters, let's say you shoot at 19.5 centimeters, 20 centimeters, it is no longer 1:1, right? Because it's a fixed distance. Anything more than that, it's not 1:1 anymore. We are using the camera and lens typically when we shoot macro handheld. If you use tripod, that's not an issue. The distance is fixed, there's no movement. But if you shoot handheld, there is some micro movement. Even just by a few millimeters, it is no longer 19 exact centimeters, then it's no longer 1:1, and of course, it jumps away. I hope you can see why that 1:1 magnification doesn't stay at 1:1, because you move when you shoot with the lens. And when you move, even just by a little bit, it is no longer 1:1. Emily Taufin, the current OM system ambassador, has talked about how she used the 1:1 shortcut. Basically, she recommended using manual focus, set the camera to manual focus, and then using the shortcut dial to 1:1. That's where the camera and the lens will stay at 1:1. But she also said that you have to physically move the camera and lens front and back. You have to rock yourself forth and back until you see the subject in focus. Basically, you're shooting in manual focus, you're not using autofocus. As you know me already, in this channel I've said many times, no autofocus, no go for Robin. I definitely want to use autofocus. Basically, I just use the shortcut to allow me to go quickly to 1:1 full magnification. Just by a push of the dial, the lens goes straight to full magnification. And when I go close to the subject, when I see the subject in focus already, then I autofocus. Although it's not really 1:1, even if there's some micro movement happening, I don't care. It is already very close to 1:1, and I don't have to shoot at full magnification and all the time anyways. It's just a tool that I use. I find it very effective. It gets the lens straight to full magnification when I'm shooting subjects that are really small, and I go really close, it is already there. And start working from there. It just simplifies the whole process. It is a lot more efficient, and it has increased my success rate. So yeah, the way I use it, I set the shortcut to 1:1, I go close to the subject, then I autofocus. It works every single time. I don't think there's anything wrong with the dial. If you understand why it works, you will know that it will not stay at 1:1. It's just up to you how you want to use it, whether you want to follow Emily's advice by using manual focus, so it's fully at 100% at all times, or if you want to use autofocus like me, you just use it to quickly get the lens to 1:1 and you start working from there. That's all I have to share about why the 1-to-1 shortcut on the Olympus 60 F2.8 Macro doesn't stick to 1-to-1. I hope you see that it's not a problem. It's designed to work that way. It just helps you to achieve 1-to-1 magnification quickly, whether you want to use manual focus or autofocus. And I hope I've shown you how I've used it effectively to achieve high magnification inside macro shots. If you found this sharing beneficial, if you've enjoyed looking at the photographs, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal. Links in the description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution goes a long way, will definitely help me to share and create more tips and tricks video in this channel. Until the next one, please go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye.